Oh, it didn't bounce. Hey, this is fun.
Hello and welcome to PC Mag's One Cool Thing. I'm Matthew Buzzy, this is John Bierek, and this is the Samsung portable SSD named the T7 Shield. It is, as its name implies, a portable drive. And this one, what makes it a little unique and what makes it different and what lives up to the Shield name is it is a ruggedized drive, meant to be a little tough, a little durable. John, why don't you tell me about its ratings and what it can resist and what it can't resist?
Fair enough. So Samsung is the 800-pound gorilla of SSDs. They make flash memory, they make system memory, they make all kinds of memory, and Samsung's also issued over the years a series of drives under the T7 name. So they've had very plain, sort of just straight T7 portables like this one that I have in my pocket here. Nicely constructed, aluminum outside, rugged enough. You could drop it probably a few feet and it's fine. They've also issued biometric secured drives. They have one called the T7 Touch, which has a fingerprint reader on it, so you can lock down your data to you alone. And now with this drive, they've moved into ruggedized. Not fully rugged in the sense that, it can survive a shipwreck or...
Not indestructible.
Right.
Let's go a tier below that, sort
exactly.
of.
Yeah, so this one's ruggedized, and it has some very specific ratings that position it against other portable SSDs on the market. So I'm going to pop it open here.
Let's let you look at it. It is roughly the same size as the one we just showed you, but it has the rubberized outside grip, which is both easier to hold and obviously rubber, a little bouncy if you drop it, help it survive a little longer. But otherwise, it's about the same size, a little thicker because of the texture, but ours is also in a nice blue color, and it comes in a couple other color options as well.
That's right. The other color options, I forget what they are.
The black and beige, something like that?
That sounds right, yes. This one's the blue. So taking out the drive over here, a little bit bigger, as you can see, than the original T7. And I believe the T7 with the biometric is the same size as the original T7. So as you can see, pretty much same size drive, just with the rubber coating. It had a little bit of thickness to it. Got some nice ridges for gripability on the side, so it doesn't slip out of your hand, so you're using it outdoors or in some sort of environment where, it might be...
Though ironically, it's fine if it slips out of your hand.
That's right. Well, yes.
The other one's more likely to slip out of your hand and more likely to break. So,
there's that.
The clumsy prone among you may be inclined to get this one.
Right. So this one here, there's a couple of aspects of it that distinguish it from other rugged/ruggedized drives on the market. This one is rated for what's called IP65. Now, the IP stands for ingress protection. Ingress protection ratings handle a whole bunch of sort of aspects of drive durability. They may be resistant to water being sprayed or sprinkled on it, or they may be resistant to water completely immersing it in sand or dirt. So in other words, using it at the beach or you're using it out in the forest, gets dropped into a pile of mulch, or you're in the desert, ends up in the sand. That's fine. Water being sprayed on it, and apparently what are being referred to in the spec as pressurized water jets. So I don't know.
But unclear what real world scenarios that would be, unless you're doing a water pick on your drive.
Right, or you tend to walk through the car wash behind your car. I don't really know what situation you would find yourself in.
The long and short of it is a high burst of water would be okay, or some rain or drops, but not ready for dunking, not ready for submerging.
Exactly, yeah. So there are some consumer drives on the market. Notably, there's one from AData, which is one of our editor's choice picks for external drives. It's IP68, which I believe it's the SE800, if I'm not mistaken, is the model number. But that one's rated for IP68, and the only difference there, at least externally, is that it has a cap on the end, and you smack the cap over the USB connector on the end.
Watertight seal.
Out. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So then you're allowed to dunk it for up to a certain amount of time, up to a certain depth. And I believe that the spec factors in like water pressure, and if if it goes down to the bottom with you, on the Queen Mary or whatever the case is, you're pretty much toast. Yeah, but then you probably bigger problems.
I think
too,
so.
Come to think of it. But the idea behind this drive, at least, is that you can spritz it and it could have something spilled on it, and you should be fine. But bearing in mind that the USB-C port is exposed, right? So inside the box, let's see what else we got in here.
Cables. Spoiler, cables.
Yep. Yeah. So most drives come with some drives come with both USB-C and USB-A client-side cables. Some of them only come with one or the other. This one comes with both, which is a nice plus. The connector on the drive end, you can see we've actually been in the box before. We tested the drive a little earlier, but the connector on the side of the drive is C. So you put the C end in, then you got a C end for your PC or Mac. or an A end if that's the kind of drive that you, that's the kind of port that you have available to you. So nice that they included both in the box.
Helpful if you're going to use this on a range of systems or bring it with you everywhere.
Right. Yeah, and then of course the manual, mostly just
Who reads those?
Yeah, well, 20 languages worth of warranty information. From what I understand, the U.S. warranty is 3 years.
Okay.
Which is a slight sticking point in that some of these drives are 5 years. So for what that's worth.
Not as long as it could be.
Right. So so there we have this model. We have 2 capacities available for this. So there's a 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte. The 1 terabyte comes in at $159.99, and the 2 terabyte comes in at $289.99.
Right.
So depending on the capacity you need, you would go with one or the other. It's slightly cheaper per terabyte or per gigabyte to buy the 2 terabyte version of it. I think it's I'm just looking at a cheat sheet here, 14 cents for the.
I was going to believe you did that math in your head really fast.
Yeah, well, I probably should have just just rattled it off, right? But 14 cents for the 2 terabyte per gigabyte, and 16 cents for the smaller capacity 1 terabyte.
It's a slightly better percent, but it's $130-ish more to jump up. So if you don't have that and you don't need 2 terabytes, the one seems fine. Right,
exactly. So this one, we can do a little bit of sort of fun with it. I mean, I just
You never know. It should be fine. It's rated specifically up to 9.8 feet.
Yeah, we're going to subject this to a little bit of just abuse. And then see if it boots up. So this here, is the the drop test. You're allowed to drop it, from what I understand, up to 9.8 feet. According to the spec, I'm about 5'9", so 5'9", 6 foot or thereabouts.
Should be fine. Should fall within the range.
Should be okay. I mean, I could really be neglectful about it. And
it seems fine. It is bouncing a fair amount. So the rubberized case is doing its part. How will it do on the metal here?
Yeah. I'll let you drop over there while I get some other.
So yeah, I mean, normally you don't want to do that. Obviously, you don't want to do that a ton on purpose. It is supposed to be able to do that, not infinitely. At some point, obviously, everything breaks, but it should be able to take some tumbles, take some falls, and obviously with things like this that you carry around with you a lot, that's just going to happen.
Right. So yeah, why don't you put that there? I mean, this is my my teacup for when I use loose tea. Well, not particularly. $3.99 for my local.
Fancy.
My local mart there. But it is nice in that it enables you to make it rain. So
I'm just going to pretend it's out in the rainforest with you.
We're going to cut away for a moment and bring a laptop here to see if it still works. And I'm also going to dry up the table in the meantime because my laptop is not IP65, IP68, or any.
Right. We should have paired it with a ruggedized laptop.
That is a good point. So here we have the drive. Plugged a USB-C to C cable into it, dried up the surface over here a bit, dried up the drive. So we're just going to plug it into our Surface laptop here and see if it still works.
It was thrown. It was wet. Wasn't submerged, but it shouldn't be according to the specs. Oh, I heard the pop-up. I heard the.
There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's mounting, and we've got the Samsung software there, the Magician app, and I'm not sure what the other thing is, actually. The setup app, I guess that probably installs Magician. But it looks like the drive is fine, survived some flinging about. I'm going to unceremoniously unplug it without ejecting.
Really prove if it's rugged.
I just went for the road.
Why not? Because you can.
Right, so that's not to indicate that we don't like this drive. We give it 4 stars.
Yeah, the throwing it is really a testimony. Right. Really proof of its success.
Right, and the T7 is actually available now. The T7 Shield is available now. We have a review of it up on PCMag.com that you can check out, as well as guides to many other external SSDs and internal SSD upgrades. So if you're interested in a compact, relatively rugged, as long as you don't, as I said, sink it under the sea.
Or run it over with your car.
Right, drive. T7 Shield does the job. It's a nice drive. So thank you for watching, and check out PCMag.com for a lot more coverage of storage and every other upgrade you can think of for your system.